Hi Internet, this is Oleg and welcome to the Tech Review. Today we're going to talk about one of the things in regards to the iPhones. We got new iPhones right now, like iPhone 14, 14 Pro, 14 Plus, all of that jazz, which is October, Techtober, somebody's call it, and that's all about iPhones. The current trend is that usually we used to change the phones like almost every year, especially if you're a tech reviewer, you're changing the phones. When the new phone come out, you go ahead and change it, and you do your reviews and all that stuff. But most of us are basically switching right now to the model of updating the phone in terms of the iPhones, and I'm pretty sure the same is almost true for the Android phones. Mostly because of the price and because of the technology and not moving that fast, and you don't have that much innovation in the new phones. We're switching right now to the way of updating the phones every 2 years or sometimes even every 3 years. And aside the fact that normal battery degradation is still a factor and stuff like that, I think it's very important to protect your device from accidents. Meaning you drop your phone, you crack the screen, all of that jazz, and people who basically go ahead with the new iPhones without a case protector, making me kind of laugh. You either have a lot of money or you're just not thinking straight. Because if you're okay paying $1,500 every year just for the phone because you're not thinking straight and you didn't protect your device and you drop it and it's get wet, or you drop it and it's get cracked and you have to pay for the whole bunch of different repairs. And even after repair the phone and changing the screen, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to have the same water protection, dust protection. In general, it's not the same phone after you broke it. So I hate to tell you like I told you so, but if you look at my clip, which I did many years ago about Dbrand as my key kind of go-to brand for screen protectors and for the cases, then I suggest you watch this video over here and just get your memory refreshed. Because last time we talked about PRIZM, and it was way back, but the screen protector, the screen itself, like this piece of glass which you put on your screen on top of your normal screen, does not impact your ability to like communicate with your phone. Touch gestures are still the same. Camera is not getting blurry or stuff like that. And on top, this is really something which works. I know there's lots of brands on the market which are claiming they have best screens and best screen protectors and all kind of things, but you know that for example, ceramic shield in iPhone, yes, it's more or less okay for the breaking capability. For example, if you drop it and the case get broken. But at the same time, if you look on the internet reviews, you will see that many people complain about the scratch resistant is not that good at all. And if you happen to have your pockets busy with keys, not so much coins probably anymore, but keys and some other things, then your phone getting very good chance to get scratched. And the scratches sometimes are even more annoying than you have a crack on the screen, which you can know like, okay, I have a crack, that's fine, nothing else I can do right now until I replace my screen. But having scratches is something which you don't really have to react right away, because scratches is not kind of big deal. But at the same time, it's growing up annoyance when you look, and especially on the black pieces of the screen, when you watch content, on when you work, on when you call, you will see that these scratches are becoming more and more annoying, and the phone is look like not so happy anymore. And when you move your finger around the screen, you will feel those scratches too. So, long story short, I got my iPhone 14 Plus Pro. I don't go for the big iPhones because I really don't think the phablet is something which I would like to have for my personal use. But we are looking at iPhone 14 Pro right now. And the case I have right now on this phone is from Spigen. Spigen is second go-to company for me in terms of the cases. I'm not that big fan of their, I'm not even sure if they have screen protectors, but the cases are decent and they're cheap as well. But in the long term, what I want to do is I want to protect my phone with something from Dbrand. And this is iPhone 12 Pro, which I have for 2 years. And you see that The screen protector I put on it on the day one. When I opened the phone, I immediately put the screen protector for Dbrand on this phone, and it's still holding up very, very good. No scratches, which is very important. Over 2 years, I remind you, 2 years of solid day-to-day use, being in pockets, being in my bag, being anywhere. Like, this thing is got zero scratches, like virtually zero, and you can see it here that it doesn't really get scratched at all. The same I would like to apply to this phone, and because of the demand probably, or some other reasons, but I ordered my Dbrand skin the same time I ordered the phone, and I got Dbrand right here. These are the boxes, as you can tell. These are 4 boxes because I got iPhone Plus, 14 Plus as well, which I intend to protect. But there is a grip case, which I also like, and you can customize that with different skins. Here I got NKBHD skin on the back of my iPhone 12, which I really like. But for the new one, I got something else. And also I got the screen protector, which, as you know, when you talk to Dbrand, you order one, they send you 2. So if the price for some reason is still kind of something you are worried about, you can get somebody else, like your friend or your family member, which would have similar phone as you are, and you can put that screen protector on that screen as well, hence dividing your expenses in 2 by half of it, basically paying half. And these are the other set, which is for iPhone 14 Plus. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my phone out of the Spigen case, which I bought as a temporary solution. Well, even if it is temporary, you still have to get something decent. And we're going to install screen protector from Dbrand, right? And I'm not really getting paid by Dbrand, no way. But I'm really recognizing the solid quality of what they do, and I like it a lot. And for me, the main reason is I'm not intending to change this phone, like at least for 2 years, and therefore I want to preserve it from any kind of accidents, and you know, it's better been safe than sorry. So, without further ado, let's get into this install. It's pretty straightforward, even like 2-year-old, not maybe 2-year-old, but I don't, you know what I mean, like 10 years old can do this installation of the screen, especially if they look on the videos, which is Dbrand has on their website. You go to dbrand.com/how, and there is a very detailed video how to do it right and not screwed up. But anyway, when you do it many times, and I install in Dbrand on all my phones for quite some time already, starting with that video, which we had when we installed it temporarily for the iPhone 5, which I have to slash with hammer multiple times before the screen get broken. And that was to test the claim that Dbrand did at the time, that their screen protector, the glass which is put on top of your screen, can even withstand direct hit by the hammer. Let's start with it, and I'll install the screen protector, show you again how it's done, but like I said, you can watch it on the video on Dbrand. I'm recording here as well. So we got recording going from my camera, which is Sony camera, and from the iPhone 12, and that we will use to install the screen protector. First thing first, that's the case, which is grip case. It's got always the thing to wipe it out if you want to, and this is the case which we're going to install. And I got skin, which is also custom. You can order whatever you want. I have something like the robot style skin, which I'm going to put on top of that. It's going to be black and white, my favorite configuration, and that's what we're going to have here. But before that, let's go ahead and do the main thing, which is protecting the screen itself, which is applying the Dbrand screen protector. So, as usual, you have your squeegee here, which is thing to wipe out the, once you install it, you have to kind of straighten it out. If there is a bubbles, have to remove those. There are 2 sets of screen protectors, so we get one thing out. This is the one we're going to install. There is no anymore, like it's used to have this yellow thing, right? When you align the phone to get the screen protector installed. No, it's not being sent anymore. We don't use it anymore. We just align the screen vertically usually like that, and screen protector aligned with the screen, and then you just put it in so it touches in the middle first, and then it will go like that, spread it out. But what you still have is the normal accessories which you will use for the screen protector stuff. So I'm gonna move this aside and just gonna work with this. So you see the skull before. This is the one we should go ahead and dab it on the screen to make sure you get all these slightly particles out. So let me just get rid of the case, because for now I'm not gonna need the case. This is actually a very good case from the Spigen. It's clear and the phone is kind of violet, but you know, the color is questionable. I like the previous color more, but from the iPhone 12 Pro, I like that blue, which was very kind of signature color for that phone, let's say. So let's see if we can just wipe it out like that, and I don't have to use the alcohol, but I think I still do. Yeah, I still do. The screen is still okay. I didn't use that phone. I was waiting for the screen protector, so I was kind of cautious when I was using the phone to make sure I use it lightly and not in order to scratch the screens, the actual original screen from the phone. So let me get this going. Yeah, the important piece is to make sure you have your phone. Then you do this. Don't rush things. Make sure you clean it up thoroughly so there is nothing left on the screen. And you can do it by just moving screen on the angle and seeing if there is something left, if you miss something like that. Because once you're done and you put the screen on, well, it's gonna be kind of problem if you didn't see something and it's got under the screen cover for you, and you have no way basically to removing it after. So take your time, make sure everything is clean and you are satisfied before you apply the new screen protector. Looks like I got a slight even crack here already on the screen, not the actual crack, but the, you know, the actual thing, something stuck here in the corner, which and looks like it's potentially maybe damage to the screen, because it looks like I feel it with my nail. So yeah, potentially yes. And it's just been slight use on the phone. I didn't really do much, and I installed a case in it, so that's kind of strange. But that's why it is important to get the screen protector. So screen protector, you got this out, and the thing is, when you install it, just make sure you align it first. So you align it like that, and then you let it go and it will click, like it will stick over, and then you're gonna be fine. So the top side is the one which you will be having the protector, and the lower side is where you're gonna be clicking it off to the screen. So once it's done there, you just go ahead and just put it like this, and then you put it out, right? So this is where the protective layer is. So we're gonna remove that and then put it like that. And after that, we're gonna lift this particular two handles, lift it out. And using this squeegee, just gonna make sure that everything is cleaned up and there is no bubbles. I can potentially use even alcohol on the top of the screen to make sure that this is clean up. Yeah, there is no glue on this side, but there is a glue on this side. So be careful. Again, align it properly first. All right, careful. And this is the top. You will see here there is a slight thing for the mic on the top, so you can align that. And that was where on the side where the arrows were. So let me just go back and align it. This is how I want it, so careful. Put it down. And now you can tell that the air bubbles are just moving away for most of the screen on their own. But to make sure everything is aligned, just make sure everything is aligned as you want before you go and press in the middle and start moving things away with the squeegee. The best would be probably to turn off the phone to make sure you have a black screen, and just move these things away. This is very important. You can use force here, not much though, but you can still use it to make sure that all the bubbles are gone. Basically, you see here right now where there's a bubble. I want to use them all and just make sure they all disappear. All the way from the center of the screen to the sides. So restart right now. I can use this to make sure it's more kind of slippery for the squeegee to go around. And just make sure this is all. And right now I'm using the force, but I'm doing it on top of this film, right? So I'm not really doing it against the actual screen protector. Okay, so this is how the product will look like when you think you are done. Just to make sure you don't miss anything, I will gonna wipe it out again. Just make sure I wipe it out again on top of the film, doesn't matter. And then just go ahead and wipe it with the cloth just to see. There might be some scratches on the film, but what I'm after here is to make sure there is no bubbles. Yep, looks okay to me. What I don't like about Sony camera, which is being shut off from time to time. So I'm losing my angle basically. Here we go, again. Okay, so now I think we are ready to pick up that protective film. And just see, here we go. Now, based on the video, you have to do is just go on the edges on the screen protector and make sure the glue, if something gets under on the border between the actual phone glass and the screen protector glass, if you have any glue speeding out, then it's your chance right now to get this thing cleaned up. Oops. And after that, you can even use it on the screen itself, but there is a cover, there is this aliphobic cover on top, which you can, you're probably not going to destroy it with a glue, with the alcohol on that amount at least. But don't use anything like aggressive. That's what they say on the actual videos in regards to the screen protector usage. Just don't use any aggressive alcohol because you might damage the aliphobic coverage on the screen itself, on the screen protector, and you will not have the same experience as before. All right, it isn't. Oh, that's feeling. Oh, nice. That's feeling when you move it like this. It's amazing. All right, so let's clean this up. So I checked the Face ID, everything still works. So I got this cut out here slightly seen, which is for the mics on the top. That's why it's important. Then you were removing the screen protector, the thing where you have the top is always indicated by the arrow, right? So this would be your top, and there's a cutout, small one, tiny one. But if you mess it up, well, you mess it up. You just lost, and in that case, you have to reapply. And then potentially you can lift it up and reapply it again. But that might be difficult. If the glue already stuck, then you're probably gonna have trouble. But just be careful, like I said, don't rush things. Now, let's go ahead and install the case. So before we install in the case, I'm just gonna clean it up here because around the cameras, it's always the same story. Around the cameras, you collect and accumulate all the dust. And on the edges as well. and the other collector on the dust is usually on the iPhones over here. Then you have holes for the speakers and for the lightning connector, but it's not that important because you're going to be doing that periodically if you want to make your phone look presentable. If you hide it in a case, then it's not a big deal. One of the things which you have to make sure you do first is to make sure the camera's area is clean so you can apply this piece of the skin, because this will go on this particular part here, and the rest of the skin will go to the case, which is grip case. With the alcohol, and I'm doing my video on the iPhone because Sony damn thing shut down on me again. This MX100 camera is overheating so easily when it's doing video that it's not funny. It's good for the photos, but it's for videos, I don't think so. Let me just go ahead and clean it up, make sure it's good. Make sure you designate some time to make it done correctly, so you don't have to kind of say, oh, I did a sloppy job here and that's why it's garbage and looks bad. But, you know, very important not to rush things when you're doing it with a target to have it used in the long terms. Yeah, I'm looking right now on different angle just to see, make sure that I don't miss major things, because, okay, from here, let's go and just take it out. Again, this thing, try not to touch it much on the where glue is and just apply it. Careful, align it. Make sure it is aligned properly. And we can use, I think, this squeegee to make sure that all of those things are in the right places. Alright, now just check it out to see if I have nothing, all the edges are actually glued in, otherwise they will stick out in time and that would not look pretty, because the glue will be damaged and you will not have the same effect as before. So it's better to make sure, forget about the cameras for now, just you're gonna let a lot of fingerprints on those, but that's not the point. The point right now is to make sure that this skin is applied and all the glue surfaces are actually touching the phone. Here we go. Now the case should be clean as well, and now what we can do is to make sure we apply this. Unfortunately, there is no film here which you can align and apply properly, so it's again what you end up doing is just aligning it manually. So just maybe touch it from this angle. Okay, here we go. Let me get the camera here, the other one. Come on, Sony. Come on, record. All right, so here I applied the skin over to the case, and now I'm doing exactly the same thing. So I'm just using the squeegee, which is a good thing to have, and just making sure that the film is going all the way, and there is no bubbles, of course, but it has to touch all the surfaces of the case, and especially on the corners here. Like the case got a little bit of border on the side, and you can use it to make sure that all your film is aligned properly, especially where the camera bump is. You will see that there is a border right there, And what we're going to do, you can use your nail even actually to go ahead and stick it in to make sure it's all aligned. All right, so now we're almost done. Just gonna do some cosmetics here because I'm gonna hide it to the case right now. Well, fingerprints are always a problem with the iPhone's Pros models on the side because of the metal still. It's fingerprint magnet, but here it is. It's fast charging, ready for wireless. You see here the round and there is an alignment ring. So what you have to do right now is to just go ahead and put the phone inside. And after that, you should be good. So it's a little tricky to put it in, but eventually you will have it done. And here we go. So the case is ready. It's a little bit bumpy looking, but it's a good thing. I like it. See here, you have your cameras, you have your skin, you have everything applied, and the phone looks protected, and there is a slight borders closer to the top and closer to the bottom. You will have the slight lift up on the borders. So you will have your phone, when you stand it up like that, on the actual surface on the table, for example. The screen will not touch the table. All right, so here it is. Installation, like I said, it's very important to do so in the early stages before you drop it and before you say, oh shoot, I was stupid enough not to protect the phone and now I have to get either a new phone or to get the screen replaced and all the trouble which could have been prevented just because you're lazy and not thinking straight and not thinking forward of possibilities, because you never know. Everybody said, like, I like the screen, the phone to be without the case. Right. Let's talk again when you drop it on the concrete, and I'll talk to you after that. Alright guys, so this is it. This is the new look on my phone. I have the robot skin on the back, and I have my Dbrand case, which I was waiting for some time. Unfortunately, it was a delay, but probably because of the volume and demand. But the good thing is, the case is now installed and I'm more than happy with the result. So the screen looking perfect. The first touch on this screen protector glass is even better, trust me on this. Unfortunately, you would not be able, unless you buy it and see how this whole thing works, you would not be able to tell how good it is. Because this is one of those things when you go ahead and install the screen protector, you put it into the case. Even like if you're not really a big fan, if you're not even a big fan for the cases from Dbrand, I highly recommend the screen protector glass. You can install that and use it with a Spigen case or some other cases. Rebel cases are good as well. Like all of those things are important, but what I find, no alternative so far to the actual tempered glass screen protector from Dbrand. And I can sign on that, and I can say that it's something which is very important. You install it, it doesn't take a long time, it's not very expensive, plus you can share it with your friend because you got two for the price of one, and then you will be happy and not regretting that when the phone accidentally got dropped, because this thing will protect from drops as well, right? You saw that test with the hammer. Even if you drop it on something which is not kind of flat surface and there's a rocks or something like that, that should be okay for this phone. Of course, there are some limits and there are some exclusions potentially, like you saw it in the video. If there's something sharp and you drop it, potentially can damage your screen a little bit or do a scratch. But I actually was picking it up with a knife and with the coins and everything, trying to scratch it out, and it didn't scratch. Again, of course, if you want to do it, you can do it. You can always damage something, but under normal circumstances, that should be okay, not having that to be destroyed. And in that case, you will have your phone, your investment, which is basically, these things are not cheap right now. You will have your investment protected the best way possible, right? And this phone I intend to keep for quite some time, maybe 2 years, maybe even more, depends on what Apple gonna send us and present it after, like iPhone 15, 16, whatever, right? I usually right now don't update the phone every generation. I go jump one generation and I skip one and then I go to the next one potentially. Even these guys, I just updated this phone because the reason for main reason for this update was the trend to remove SIM card slot from the phones, from the iPhones. I didn't really like it. Switching completely to eSIM in North America right now, in the United States, the phones are coming without SIM card slot. In Canada, where I am, we still have SIM card slot, but I'm telling you that potentially for iPhone 15, they will come up only with eSIM. And if you travel a lot, especially to Europe, switching to eSIM only capable phones is not kind of something which you potentially want, because you're going to lose a whole bunch of different benefits and flexibilities with the phone which capable of eSIM installation. It is capable of SIM card installation, and you still can have your main phone number registered to this eSIM. For example, that's what I intend to do here. Just register my main phone to as eSIM and got my SIM card slot available. If I go to Europe, I can install that SIM there, and I will have two numbers, and that will be good. Again, thanks a lot for watching. As usual, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share it with your friends. Leave your comment. What kind of brands are you using? Are you happy with your screen protector? Because I'm open to suggestions as well. Like I said, for now, I tried, I think, 2 different vendors. So I looked on some films before, but again, films are out of the question. It's not good. But from the screen protector, glass-based screen protectors, I think Dbrand is leading right now. And I'm a kind of, ambassador for that in a way, because I've been using that and I can guarantee and I can confirm that this thing works. All right, until next video, see you guys next time. Be safe and talk to you later.